Hello everyone, and welcome to week 2 of the Tarot 101 Circle at the Circle of Balance Witches. My name is Angelique Marochka, and I am the Balance Witch. Ta-da! So this week we are going to be talking about the language of tarot. Now, the chapter started out talking about the history of the tarot, and generally when I start reading a tarot book and it starts talking about the history of tarot, I fall asleep because I find it completely boring. Others may disagree, but Ms. Hudgens obviously agrees with me and says, you know, it doesn't really matter where it came from, but what really matters is why it's still relevant today, and that it really doesn't have any relevance in how you read the cards as to where it came from or where it may have came from. So while you might be doing some work with the Thoth deck or the Rider-Waite, it might be important. You might feel inclined to learn a bit about, you know, where it came from and who were the people that created it. But beyond that, she says, really don't worry about it. So you may like that, you may not. So next we're going to move on to talking about symbolism. Now, a symbol is a pictorial representation that reminds us of something that we have experience with. Now, there are things that are global, you know, everyone in humanity, you know, sees the symbol and knows what it is. White flag, perhaps, is the best one that I can think of. Now, there's also some that are culturally based. They only really mean something to people in a certain culture. And they also might have different meanings depending on the culture that the person comes from, or perhaps religion. For instance, a pentacle, 5-point star, inside a circle, means one thing to people who are pagan. It means, you know, the 4 elements and spirit have all come together and are in balance. It's a good thing for us, whereas other people might think that it is a satanic symbol because they don't understand it. Another thing is the apple. In our mythology, the apple means a lot of different things depending on which sect you're in, which tradition, which path you're on. But in Christianity, the apple is the fruit of knowledge, generally, and it's what got Adam and Eve kicked out of the Garden of Eden. So, they don't like apples. Huh. So, exercise 2.1 is what you're going to come across next, and for that, what the author wants you to do is to look around the room around you, look out your window, and pick something that stands out to you. Take 3-5 minutes and write about what this item is. There's some really good questions in the text, page 15, and you know, things to answer about, you know, what this object is and, you know, what it brings out in you. So take a couple minutes, turn off the video, go do that, and I'll be here when you get back. Okay, now I'm going to assume that you did turn off the video like I told you to, and that now you're back. And so you finished writing about the object. The object that I chose was a peacock candle holder. It's actually sitting on my altar. And odds are, if you look at what you wrote, it's going to be perhaps different than what someone else would have written. For instance, my peacock candle holder, I think more of the peacock part than the candle holder, and so it connects me to my matron goddess Hera. To me, it's beauty and grace and really pretty. It's peacock, royalty, and all that fun stuff. Now, someone else might think of vanity and, you know, being, you know, full of themselves. I would never think that of myself. But you know, someone else might just look at the aspect of it that it's a candle holder. It's a utility, you know, something that you can use. So look at what you wrote and, you know, kind of see how your experience has colored what it is that you took away from the specific item. So we're going to move on to 2.2, exercise 2.2, and last week in the optional homework we picked a card, or we picked a piece of artwork, and we found 3 symbols in that artwork or that card. Now I want you to, whenever you're done, of course, take those 3 symbols and do the same thing that you did for the item in your room. So you're going to be brainstorming about those three symbols, and think about, in addition to, you know, everything else, how the items are similar. Oh, I went out of focus. Sorry, guys. I moved too much. There we go. How they're similar, how they're different, what makes them different, and what puts them together. What is the common thread between the 3 items that brings them together, that brings them into that, either the card or the piece of artwork. So now if you would, the 3 symbols that you pick, post them on your group and talk about them with your group. We broke up into groups last week. There should be 5 groups. I'm in group 1. Just post them on there and talk about it and see what everyone has to think, or everyone has to say. What you see may be different from what someone else sees, and that's okay. So next we're going to go on to different methods for learning the tarot effectively and learning what the cards mean. And these are things that can be used by people of all levels to you know, continue to evolve with the tarot and, you know, revisit it as perhaps a beginner. I'm going to read these golden rules that the author, oops, sorry, I moved again, sorry. Okay. So remember that you can never know everything about the tarot. It is a vast system that always can be added to or understood on another level. Every now and then, approach the tarot from a beginner's mind once more to shake yourself out of any old habits. And there is no destination on the tarot journey, but the journey itself is paramount. Enjoy it and don't worry about getting to the end. So, pretty much they're saying, you know, the tarot is a journey. Enjoy it, have a good time, learn it, but you're never going to be at the end of your journey. You're always going to continue to learn, find new things, have new things pop up that just make so much sense and change your understanding of the cards. Okay. So, the first item on our list is the tarot journal. Now, not only is this a good way to learn the tarot, but it's also a good way to keep track of your progress. You can also keep track of your ideas. Also, you can record any discoveries that you have had, any epiphanies with regard to the tarot, and you know how it fits into your life. It's also a good way to keep everything that you learn about the tarot in one central location. In the text on page 17, talks about the different ways that you can keep your tarot journal together, whether you want to use a notebook, whether you want to use your computer, or whether you use a binder. I'm pretty much a binder girl here, but I do keep some of my stuff digital, so trying to find a happy medium there. I haven't found one yet, so if you have any good ideas, post them on the group.